Hi everyone, welcome back to my vlog. This is my life, because guess what? This is my life. I'm outside the library right now because my daughter and my husband had to drop some stuff off at her place, and then they got to come back and then drop stuff off at her place. So we were out here because my daughter had court against her baby daddy. Well, her baby daddy, his mom, beached whale that she is, she likes to run her mouth, and whenever somebody says anything to her about her running her mouth to somebody, she's always, I'm gonna call the cops, I'm gonna call the cops. Okay, beached whale, go ahead, you call the cops, we call SeaWorld. See who gets a response. We probably would, because, you know, they're missing their whale. We found it. Well, anyways, this beached whale, Lora Summers, she decided that she was going to text my husband, and thinking it's me, and run her mouth. And when my husband called her out on it in the courthouse, she got all huffy and just kept walking. And then her son, Dominick Summers, you know, the baby daddy that got arrested, lives with mommy, has no decent job, if he has a job, and got kicked out of mommy's house. He's stomping by saying, well, I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to call the cops. Oh, why? Because my husband called out your beached whale of a mother for her talking shit in a text message to my husband? She runs her mouth, and that whole family is like trailer trash. You know, I don't have anything against people who live in the trailer, but when you act like trash, then you are trash. So she's popping off at the mouth. And of course, when we're in the courtroom, Dominick's lawyer, who was my lawyer at one time that fucked me over, decides to pop off with, oh, well, because of the incident out in the hall, my client left the building. No, he didn't. He never left the building. What are you smoking, dude? Because lay off it. Anyways, so the Judge Sanford out here, Albion, New York, he's going off on my husband, saying, oh, well, you don't need to act like that in the courtroom. And my husband tried to explain the situation. And then the Judge Sanford, said to my husband, well, we heard that you used a 4-letter word. Well, last I checked, he never used a 4-letter word. Maybe whale, but that's 5 letters. So Judge Sanford, I mean, he's like the worst judge I've ever seen. I mean, we need Judge Punch back out here, because this one is, I don't know. He needs to get the rod out of his ass. And the Summers family, they just need to find, you know, a cliff and just off it. And the mother, this toxic, poor excuse of a human being, Lora Summers, I don't even know why she's allowed to open her mouth in court when she's not even on the court case. But they think they're all high and mighty, which they're not. They're not. The whole family is scum. That whole family is scum. I have so much information on that scum family. It's not even funny. Because here's the thing. My father, when he was alive, he dated the baby daddy, Dominick's aunt. And that woman drained my dad dry because she knew he had money. And when he was placed into hospice care, or in the care of a doctor, when they found out he had brain cancer and, you know, his time, you know, was coming up, they told her not to be giving my father any solid foods because he had a feeding tube up his nose. What does this woman do? Now you got to remember, my dad had brain cancer. He could not speak anymore. He couldn't walk that well, and then it got to the point he couldn't walk at all. She would be feeding him food. They said, don't be giving him his medication. This was near his end time. Don't be giving him his medication. There's no point of it. We're giving him the morphine to make him comfortable as he starts to pass. What does she do? She continues giving him his medication. So this woman, she kind of, unalived my dad pretty quick with her stupidity of feeding him solid foods when he had a feeding tube and giving him medication that hospice stated that he does not need because they're giving him the morphine. So she helped my father die. And that family, I have nothing good to say about that family, okay? You caused my father a shorter time here on earth because you didn't want to listen to doctors and you didn't want to listen to hospice. And what's sad is when my dad got diagnosed with brain cancer, his girlfriend, the aunt to Dominic, decided, I'm gonna give my son your car, your truck. You just make the little X on the line so the title will be his. And that's how it would be if you can't sign your name, you put an X. So my father cannot speak, but yet she was able to get him to just put an X there. My dad didn't understand what was going on. She gave away his hunting rifles, his when that was supposed to actually go to me. She was just spending money out of his account that, was not hers because she had access to it. And when my father passed away, it's kind of funny that there was a purchase made on the day my father died. There was a purchase made online. Okay, you're using a dead guy's account. I didn't find that out until it was later on because I ended up with access to my father's bank account, which is how I know about all these different transactions. And when my sister and I went to my dad's house to look at it and everything, see what was left, what's left, and we would have to do an estate sale if need be. And it looked like the Grinch that stole Christmas. Because she had taken off with things that weren't even hers. She took off my dad's riding lawnmower. She was taking off with shit that wasn't even hers. So that shows you how much of scum that family is. And I warned my daughter not to get with Dominic because of the kind of trash that family is. But my daughter being my daughter, she's going to do her thing. But they talk big, but then when you confront them, they're whiny little bitches that say, oh, we're going to call the cops. Go ahead, call the cops. And like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to call SeaWorld because I found their missing whale. And seriously, the judge taking their side and everything, and they're just trash. And then my daughter has visitations Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Of course, in the judge's head, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And he was swearing up and down she missed, some visitations. No, she goes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So where was she missing visitations? She missed 2 because she was sick. You're not going to go to a visitation sick and get a baby sick. Now let's move on to the baby. All right, so when my daughter gets her visits, they visit here. When my daughter gets her visits, there's scratch marks on her son's face. Not from his fingernails, believe me. Those scratch marks are from an adult or possibly an animal. He is never fed before before the visitation. He is never changed before his visitation. And my daughter has documentation of all this. She has pictures and everything, and she documents everything that goes on. But her lawyer doesn't know how to listen. Doesn't listen when she says thanks to them. They just try to brush it off. So, yeah. So you got the stupid-ass Judge Sanford. Or Church. I can't remember who it is. Judge Church, Judge Sanford. I don't know. now that I'm thinking about it, is it Judge Church? I don't know. I can't remember. There's too many stupid judges. Anyways, it might be Judge Church. I'm not sure. He's clueless as can be. Stupid as can be. He's got the kind of face that you just want to at any time. And the Summers, that family, there's a tower in the cemetery. Need to climb up it. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, that's my rant about trash and judges. Oh yeah, and then the bailiff. Oh my God, the bailiff. You act all big and bad, dude, because you got that uniform on. You're big and bad. Look at you. You ain't big and bad, dude. Take the uniform off. You're just another civilian. Your uniform don't mean shit. My husband's a security guard. He probably has more training than that bailiff there. So I'm gonna let y'all go, and bye for now. Okay, so I got confirmation about who the judge was. I had to ask somebody who the judge was on this case, and it's Judge Church here in Albion, New York. The old man that needs to retire, okay, and get the rod out of his ass too. So yeah, it's Judge Church. I couldn't remember if it was Sanford or Church. I had to double check. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Bye for now.